Welcome back, Invincible season 4 trailer. Let's get into this. Okay, I had to pause it because of course you saw the screen go blurry, so I have to clear it up. Let's check this out. See what we got. I mean, if you haven't seen Invincible, please check it out. It's really good. Really good. It is. We're in season 4 of it. His dad should be coming back. At some point, his dad was on his way back. And we might even get into him having a kid, and everything. Or actually him being assaulted by the Viltrumite. Actually, that's what's going to happen first, right? I don't know how that transpired, but I know she whooped the snot out of him. And was able to subdue him, which is tragic, right? But it's a very graphic cartoon as far as a comic. I don't mind, you know me, with anime, and I think a lot of people anime, we don't mind that type of stuff. That's just like TV, but it's animation. So, you know, it's more of a, for me, looking at cartoons like that are graphic or more adult cartoons like that, it's better than watching the live stuff with actors doing it. Because it's still actors doing it. So it's different for me. It's like when you're drawing it, it's like, yeah, it's just drawing. So you can go a little crazy with your imagination, but putting it on cinema, you're dealing with real emotions and stuff like that. And, you know, there's just too much for the psyche sometimes, I think, for some people in acting. Because they put a lot into it and a lot to them characters. So let's, with that being said, let's jump into this Invincible trailer, y'all. Let's see what we got going on here. And see what they're going to reveal. I think this should be the one.
Mark, take a night off.
We don't get to take a night off. If I'd actually killed Angstrom the first time, so many people would still be alive. I'll do anything to stop that from happening again.
It's not who you are, Mark. But trauma like that breaks people.
Things are changing, Mark, and not for the better. Oh, God.
We'll figure this out, okay?
We need to show the world that even after everything that happened, the Guardians are still here, fighting to keep everyone safe.
Come on!
From what might be coming our way.
I'm sorry, Mark. We need your help.
How do you feel about war?
The Viltrumites will always be a threat to Earth.
But each day, we add more allies to break their hold on the galaxy. Together, we have a chance to end this war forever.
I can help. How much does this job pay?
His brother's off the hook.
No tricks this time.
How do I know you're telling the truth?
You'll have to trust me.
There will be loss. There will be sacrifice.
I'm sorry.
We must all face judgment for the evils of our past if we want any hope to change our future.
This is serious, Shapesmith.
This is fruit punch. Would you like some?
Man.
Is everyone ready?
Yes!
There's a lot of crap happening.
We stick together. That's how we win this.
Woo! Uh-oh, is that yeah, that must be him. Yeah. Oh, they gonna probably show him at the end too.
Leave no one alive.
I bet you they show that at the end. March. Oh, so we ain't got that far. Thank goodness. Yeah, they're probably gonna show him at the end. But man, the one thing about Invincible, he's anything but. You know what I mean? His development is so damn slow. It's not even funny. You know what I mean? Like, I know Viltrumite. What's the best thing? Actually, I'm gonna stop with that. The best thing about Invincible, and I think every comic book should change the narrative, or how they do this. When they conceive a child with someone else, their DNA it ultimately takes over as time goes by, so they become 100% Viltrumite. That is such a crazy idea of a conquering and dominant thing. So you do have dominant genes. So we have recessive and dominant genes. So every one of their genes is at a level to where it's dominant, but it also eliminates basically the person who, the other partner that took control, that helped make. So it's so alien. The idea is so alien, is brilliant. And I think they should do that a lot with I think that should be like a baseline for mutant down to mutant to alien DNA. That's what happens. This half human, half whatever crap. There's nothing about a human besides weakness. Is all it is weakness. Yeah. So Blade would be essentially become a full-blown vampire, right? At a certain age. So that means he would just stop aging, right? And of course you could still put in there that because he's human, and because he was human, his sunlight sensitivity isn't as extreme. Meaning, yeah, he can't stand the sunlight, but he can walk in it long enough, right? Whereas someone turned can't. Since he's born, yeah, he'll have both, but he becomes totally vampiric. Like, so his earlier years, which never made sense, that he was so bloodthirsty or whatever. He should have been killed a long time ago. He shouldn't have been bloodthirsty. As he gets older, he would be bloodthirsty, more and more bloodthirsty. But he can still eat food, right? That element's there. But he essentially becomes full-blown vampire at some point. And then once that happens, now the sunlight starts to harm him a little bit more. So therefore the shades, right? To the eyes, to stop the glare. So he would almost be like Vin Diesel in Pitch Black. What was the character? Dang, why can't I think of his name? Riddick. He'll be more like Riddick, right? Sensitive to sunlight. Eyes are sensitive to sunlight because his night vision and things of that nature. So it'll become more vampirish, right? That you can work that. You can work that, even though that's a human thing versus alien, but you can still work it from a human level. This is why I use Blade as an example. Someone born into something. Because think about a vampire is much more. It dominates a living thing. Like a human, you get bit, it infects you completely, right? So why isn't it affecting you at birth? Your human genes shouldn't be able to fight it. And with the Invincible and them Viltrumites, that's what happens. Mark is not half Viltrumite. He's becoming full Viltrumite, meaning he'll be as strong as them essentially. But of course, with his thing, what we're watching is so slow. It's deliberately slow because the comics is like that. I just wish they would have sped it up more, because I'm sick of him getting whooped the way he gets whooped. It's just like, dang, man, he ain't strong enough yet. You know what I mean? I know it's thousands of years of these guys developing this massive strength. Which is cool. It's a good one, man. I think kudos to the creators of this comic book. Really smart dudes. Really put some thought into this and how they developed it. I think it's wonderful. I just wish the other comic makers will kind of adapt certain little things from certain things. That alien gene, that mutation overtaking the human DNA, and with mutants in general. Like a Namor, right? He's human already, right? In nature, but his genes are mutated. So there's an evolving that should happen, is all I'm saying with mutants. These should evolve more, meaning your abilities should enhance, or they should be able to mutate into something else. Since you're already a mutant, you mutate off into something else, right? Oh, he's got angel wings, right? Angel wings. He's just flying around, right? Okay. So what happens next with his mutation? Maybe he gets some speed, right? Be able to breathe different atmospheres. Like it's just, and meaning you get exposed to certain elements and they can adapt a lot faster than we would be able to. So that's still human innate adaptation, evolution, right? It's still the same thing, but they just do it faster, right? So they end up, so you have a real fear of them. You're just not fear of someone who has a frog tongue, you know what I'm saying? Some dumb stuff, or someone like Wolverine who has healing powers, healing attributes and stuff. Even in the comics though, the metal in his DNA keeps him from becoming very feral. So he would be way more feral, animal, more like animal. So actually Wolverine's actually does that. It's actually built in him. So I stand corrected. Wolverine is a special case because he actually does turn more into an animal, but the adamantium keeps him from doing that. So he's, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So I think if they were still doing that with everyone, not that someone would be more into what they're doing, just get creative with it. Have develop more and more powers, like Deathpool with the cancer, right? His mutation, his healing DNA comes into play, right? So instead of his face being jacked up like permanently, it should be able to heal him completely, right? Now, when he takes on damage from fighting and things like that, and his body has to heal more, then the cancer can come back. You'll see signs of it, not full blown, but you'll see signs of it coming back, because the more and more damage he takes, the more and more battles he's in, the more and more he regresses back to that state where he started at. And then when he's in less battles, he's able to conquer the cancer, because cancer is something that's uncurable. So you want to keep that strength of that disease in there, but then show that how his body is still able to conquer it at times, and it takes for his body to be damaged to where it can resurface itself, not to where he gets sick, but from his starting stage. That would be brilliant too, for them to do with the mutants and those people who are metahuman-ish types. Anyways, I went on a tangent about this stuff, but I think it's genius. I can't wait for it to come out. Tell me what you guys think of my ideology of adapting some of Invincible's writers' attributes into our regular, because I may be missing some. We already know alien, that's too easy. That's just, you know, you're a Kryptonian, we already know. You have a kid with a woman, he'll be human. Once his power starts to kick in, then he becomes not human in Kryptonian, he becomes full-blown Kryptonian. Well, what about kryptonite? Of course, he'll be less affected by kryptonite, where it would make, he wouldn't be able to get poisoned by kryptonite, meaning too long of exposure to kryptonite, it won't essentially kill him or poison him. He can get weaker, but he won't poison him. Because even Superman himself, you know, and I know they do the vampire stuff with Superman with kryptonite, where he's all of a sudden exposed. He just all of a sudden, you know, he acts like he can't even walk no more. It has an effect, but it gets his strength first, then it starts to kill him. So even if he's exposed to kryptonite, a human being couldn't punch him and knock him to the ground. You know what I mean? And Superman 2 showed an example that when Lex had that whole island full of kryptonite, he was able to knock him down. But if it was just a single stone of kryptonite, Lex still would have shattered his hands hitting him. It takes a large amount, and even then it was just, even that's unrealistic, because he's so much more stronger than you can imagine. That kryptonite does weaken him and does poison him, but it takes longer exposure for humans to actually put in work on him. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So if he had a half child, imagine how less of effect kryptonite, even though his kryptonite DNA takes over, you could still have what humans are stronger than him in. I think that's what I meant prior. So human DNA is stronger because exposed to kryptonite, it doesn't affect us. Thus, his sons wouldn't be affected with kryptonite, even though his Kryptonian gene takes over. But remember, it's the dominant genes. They're always taking over. His exposure to kryptonite is recessive, so our dominant gene will stay. Same thing with Blade. That's what I meant with Blade. Blade would have that. The weaknesses of vampires would be our strength. In Sun, we still block the light, so he would still have it'll be able to have the sensitivity. And great thing is Blade has melanin in his skin, so he's already protected from the sun. So he would have even less, and his eyes are already brown. So actually, he probably wouldn't even flinch from sunlight. So he'd be pretty much impervious to sunlight because of his skin tone, right? So now that becomes even more. Maybe that morphs and mutates into something. His being exposed to sunlight actually is a benefit for him, you know what I mean, because of his skin being able to absorb sun rays. So maybe he can reflect and shoot out, project light, you know what I mean. I don't know, who knows. Maybe he's poisoned, his bite is poisoned because of his sun absorption of rays. He bites a vampire, they die. You get what I'm saying? Like something there is, and you add a little here and there because of his human DNA becomes mutated because of the vampire DNA. So you can get creative with that, man. That would make it so much better. So many characters would be so much better. And you can tie in real biology to it and then get sci-fi with the biology, right? I'm out. I've been rambling too long. I'm out.